Alright, Shalom, giving all praises and all glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Rachachodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Northern that were well. And Shalom unto the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel, and the rest of the elect that are destined to be saved under Brother Kalab from the GMS UK London Forecasters Camp. Coming back at you with another lesson to help edify those of which I spoke of. So, this isn't a video that I was planning to do, but I just stumbled across it, and I thought it would be worth speaking about because here on the screen you've got Will Smith, and it popped up on my YouTube feed. This new music video that he's put out recently, and obviously this is his attempt at making a comeback after his what can we say, after his embarrassments of being humiliated by his wife Jada Stinkett when she told him on the, was it the round table or red table or whatever they call it, that she cheated on him, and he had to, he was basically simping it out. And then after that he had the incident where he slapped Chris Rock at the what was that ceremony? The Oscars, at the Oscars. So, he's making a comeback, he's trying to rebuild his career. And a lot of people have been calling this video that he's put out, this song that he's put out, a humiliation ritual. Because, sometimes celebrities do certain things, they might get in themselves into a position where their handlers are disappointed with them or whatever the case may be, and they have to do certain things, and they call it a humiliation ritual, such as having to wear a dress, or what was the other one, when Nick Cannon came out claiming that so-called Negroes are the real Jews, and he had to do that apology where he was, he had that rabbi sitting there and he had to give that public apology. These certain things, are humiliation rituals for these celebrities. So people have been saying on social media that Will Smith's comeback song is nothing more than a humiliation ritual. And I wouldn't be surprised, because at the end of the day, these celebrities, they've already sold their soul for their fame. And for a lot of celebrities, the worst thing that could ever happen to them is for them to be no longer relevant. They love being worshipped and idolized and held in high esteem by the people of the world. And it plays into their ego, because a lot of these celebrities, they're very vain people, very fickle people, and they've got no real depth to them. And to tell the truth, they're no different in a lot of ways to most people in the world, because most people are vain and selfish and want adulation and adoration, and ultimately to be worshipped on some level. That's what a lot of people want, especially Jake, who might have grown up in the hood, not having much respect, not having much money, not having many opportunities. So that's why Jake is so easily to be manipulated by, these small hats who control these industries, be it the music industry, be it showbiz, Hollywood, the acting industry, be it with sports. Jake are very easy to sway with deals, because Jake is so desperate to get out of their low social and economic situations. But there's a scripture which says, it's Matthew 16:26. Let me get it. Matthew 16 and verse 26. Matthew 16 and 26 says this. It says, "For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?" Esau knows these scriptures as well. He applies them on the left-hand side. So a lot of Jake will give up their souls to gain the world. And what world is that? The world of Esau. To have money, status, mansions, fast cars, women. A lot of Jake are easy to be swayed by this shit. Now, Will Smith, he's nothing more than a sellout. He's been in the industry a long time. He had his heyday in the late 80s, early 90s with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And then he went on to have, a successful movie career, which lasted many years. But at the end of the day, when you are doing deals with Esau, it always comes with a sting in its tail, or there's always an end to it. It's not lasting success. It's not lasting riches. Just look at Bill Cosby. At one time, Bill Cosby, he had the Cosby Show. He seemed to be on top, but look at Bill Cosby now, or look at R. Kelly. For a long time he was on top of the R&B game. Look at him now. Look at where P. Diddy's at. A lot of Jake get up into that world, and it never ends well for them. Either they end up in prison, they end up losing all their money, or they end up 6 feet under. Look at Michael Jackson. So there's never a happy ending for these celebrities. But at the end of the day, this is the world that they've sold their souls to. They don't know anything different. Now, this is just some folly at the end of the day, because here you got Will Smith. I don't want to play this because I don't want to get no copyright strikes. But here he is wearing these ridiculously loud outfits, making a fool of himself, doing these stupid ass dance moves, if you could even call it dance moves. And the song is called I like pretty girls. But the weirdest thing is that he's picked some of the most ugliest women I've ever seen to be in this video. Let me show you some examples, right? I took a screenshot. Here you got this out of shape, miserable looking woman here. I ain't feeling her on any level. This woman looks like a straight up witch. I don't know what's going on. And then you got this girl. Man, you need to wash your clothes, man. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, look, if you're painting, right? I know oil paints can be messy, but this is just ridiculous. Here it is, Will Smith's claiming I like pretty girls, but he's picked the most ugliest women to be in this video, right? And here he is wearing these loud ass costumes, trying to get attention, trying to be relevant. But the thing is, it ain't working for him, because if you read the comments, it's quite it seems like people have had enough of not just Will Smith, but people are getting tired of celebrity culture on the whole. Let's read some of these comments. It says, Will Smith making music in 2025 is a recession indicator. I didn't think Will Smith was gay, but after listening to this song, I'm not so sure anymore. Now, Will Smith goes both ways. For those of you who don't know, go watch an old film that he was in. I believe it's called 6 Degrees of Separation, where he plays a bundle of sticks, and he played that role incredibly well, a little too well. Dudes, a lot of these celebrities have to take backdoor deals in order to make it in Esau's world, and Will Smith ain't no different. Makes getting jiggy with it look like Beethoven. Oh gosh, I'm gonna keep this song out of my motherfucking playlist. Yeah, the song is bad. I mean, if you could even call this shit music, it's got the deadest beat, the shittest models dancing in it, and he's wearing these ridiculous ass costumes. It's just it seems really out of touch. And a lot of these celebrities are out of touch because they've lived in a bubble for so long where they've had people singing their praises all the time. Like, for example, when you reach a certain level of celebrity status and you go on these talk shows, it's all scripted. Nothing's real. Everything's set up. Like, even the jokes that are set up. Like, they may act like they're being spontaneous and they're being quick-witted and funny, but it's all rehearsed and it's all staged. A lot of these celebrities are very shallow people with no depth to them at all, which is why when they lose their celebrity status, they completely fall apart because they had nothing to begin with. Maybe they had a little bit of talent. In a lot of cases, Jake has a little bit of, God-given talent, but that talent only carries you so far. You know, a lot of it, especially these days, in today's entertainment industry, that God-given talent isn't necessarily a prerequisite anymore. Whereas it was in like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, you had to actually be good to actually, get anywhere with what you were doing, being it music, sports, or entertainment, acting, or whatever. You had to have some level of talent. But these days, any old grimy ass, nigger or niglet can get a deal and get blown up. Just look at, what do you even call it, these so-called artists like, Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion or whoever else it is who wants to call themselves a rapper these days. A lot of it is just the basest of lyrics with the shittest of beats, but yet it gets promoted heavily because the small hats who control the industry, they're the ones who say if it gets radio play or MTV play, and they push that shit out there. It's not about talent anymore. It's all about who's promoting you or who's giving you the push. And in order to get the push, you need to have been pushed in, to put it bluntly, right? Feels like a Saturday Night Live song that was out before airing. Yeah, cheap ass production values, man. No way Will Smith watched this from start to finish and said, yep, this looks good. Send it out for the whole world to see, forever immortalized till the end of humanity. Well, guess what? That end of humanity is going to come a lot sooner than a lot of these people realize, including Will Smith. See, here it is, Will Smith's trying to rebuild his fractured career, but it's like and done to trying to build a house on sand. Let me get that preset for you all. Will Smith is building his house on sand because even if, let's say he did another 5 blockbuster movies or put out another platinum album, where's it going to get him in the end? Because this world is soon to go up in flames. And here he is trying to win the world over again, not realizing that the world he's in is about to be destroyed. Let me get this one about the man who built his house on sand. It's in the Gospels. Let me just find it. This is Matthew 7 and 26. Let's get that. And just one more time, and I know every man's got his different taste in what he finds attractive. They say, the saying is, one man's meat is another man's poison. But look, I'm gonna just call a spade, man. These women are ugly as hell, man. And you telling me Will Smith couldn't find better looking women than this? I mean, come on, man. This is ridiculous. She looks like flipping Wicked Richard West, man. This girl just looks miserable. she look like she ain't skipped a meal in a long time, man. And this is the best he can come with. Even if you put the prettiest girls in the world in that video, it wouldn't make a difference because his world's still about to go up in flames. This is Matthew 7 and 26. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended. Actually, let me read up a bit, there's more. Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. So that's likened unto the men who have the elect of the nation of Israel who have woken up to this truth and have come into this beautiful ministry and are doing the things needful to seek salvation. They're the men who built their house upon a rock, right? Now it says, and everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So that's what Will Smith is. He's the foolish man who built his house upon sand. And Yahushua is going to come back, and everything that Will Smith has worked for his whole life, it is going to be destroyed in an instant. You know, he may make a comeback. You know, I don't know. I don't particularly care. Whatever the Lord's will may be, but he may make a comeback and may get another in with people in the world. But guess what? It's all going to end terribly. It's all going to end in flames. Let me get James 4 and verse 4. And then I'll round it out with Revelation 3. This is James 4 and verse 4. It says, Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. So Will Smith's trying to be a friend of the world, and he is of the world, you know, but he's trying to win favor of the world again. But guess what? The world is fickle. You know, the world will love you one moment and be cursing your name the next. You can never please the people of the world because they've got no integrity, they've got no value, they've got no love. Don't the scripture say, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold? Yeah, people may be bigging you up for a minute. You may have your moment in the sun, but guess what? In the end, they'll turn on you because they've got no loyalty, you know? And here it is, Will Smith bending over backwards, trying to win these people back. It's all in vain, man. And it's all folly. This is Revelation, the 3rd chapter, starting about 16. No, verse 17. Revelation 3 and verse 17. Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increase with goods, and have need of nothing, and know not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked. See, that's what Will Smith is, you know. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. So Will Smith is miserable, poor, wretched, blind, and naked. Yes, he's got material wealth in this world, but in the kingdom to come, he's not going to be regarded. He's not even going to be remembered. He's just going to be another Israelite who's going to come back through the loins of the elect. None of the works he's doing on this side are going to be held in any high regard or any high esteem. So, you know, this is an empty man, an empty vessel of a man who can't sit down by himself and just chill. Because he's made enough money in his career. He could sit back and just kick back and be anonymous. But the thing is, these celebrities, they can't be anonymous. They need that validation. Their souls crave attention. So that's why you got, you know, him out here wearing these loud ass costumes, making these whack ass songs, trying to get attention. It's all attention seeking, you know. But as I said, it's all in vain. So yeah, a lot of people are calling this a humiliation ritual, and it is pretty humiliating because it's a shit ass song with a whack ass beat, and he's wearing these ridiculous costumes. But hey, he's got the money to try and push this shit. You know, when you got a lot of artists who are way more talented, who don't get any acknowledgement or recognition because they ain't done that backdoor deal to get that push from the small hats. So I'll end it there. Lord, when it's been edifying, so with that I want to give all praises and all glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadosh, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and Shalom unto the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect that are destined to be saved. And I'll catch you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Shalom for now.